Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Main man, made man in the building. Y'all know what it is. Just make sure we working here. It's sounding good. Yeah. So, what's up, good peoples? How y'all doing tonight, man? How y'all doing tonight? We about to get this live stream popping. Yo, man, we had so much fun the other night. I had to come back immediately. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody out there having a good evening, man. Fresh off watching that Halloween movie that just came out, man, and I thought that shit was garbage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all are fans of the Halloween series, man, but I am. And let me just tell y'all, man, I wasn't feeling that shit, man. Real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like nothing about that movie, man. I thought they could have did a much better job with the Halloween. If you were a fan of the series, man, the story is all over the place. I don't know where they picking up at, where they leaving off, man. I'm just like, yo, I'm done with that, man. But, you know, it is what it is. The lady had a good time, and I guess that's all that matters, right? Yo, man, I see we already got people walking up in. As you walk up in, man, hit the like button for your boy, man. You know, I love to do this and interact with all the subscribers of this channel, man. We always have a good time, man, every time we do a live stream, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, good evening to you, Harold Jones, Magnetic Shamil. What's up with you, son? Magnetic Shamil, hefty bag garbage. Is that what you talking about the fight? For real? About this whole Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia thing? Man, we're going to get right into this, man. We're going to get right into this, man. Y'all already seen the news, I'm sure. Mikey Garcia vacating his IBF title down at 135 pounds. Haven't heard anything yet about him vacating that WBC, though. So that's the thing that kind of got me wondering. I see Luke Campbell, who's the WBC mandatory down at 135. He's saying to us, he's saying, look, man, we're going to keep things moving. You know, if Mikey Garcia going to move up and he's going to take on Errol Spence Jr., well, he wants his shot at that WBC title. So it remains to be seen on what's going to do, man, or what's going to happen with that. What's going to happen with that? You say the movie? Oh, the movie. Yeah. The movie was garbage, bro. I mean, that's what. Hey, look, man, if you're a fan of the Michael Myers genre, man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if y'all going to see the Halloween movie, let me know what y'all think about it. If y'all even seen the Halloween movie, let me know what y'all think about it, man. I just think they could have did a much better job, man. Real talk. But like I was saying, man, yo, Luke Campbell wants to know what's going to happen with the WBC title down at 135 pounds, and I ain't mad at him, man. Because if this thing going to happen, then let it happen. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia, according to Robert Garcia, his brother, is saying that, yo, he sees something in Errol Spence Jr. We all want to know what the hell is that something that Mikey Garcia see, man. First off, nothing is official. They have not announced no fights. We all still going off the same headlines. We know it's about 90% done, they saying. And they saying that this thing may end up around in February. So it is what it is. Now, as far as Mikey and Richard Comey, it looks like that thing going to be off too. But the one thing I got to give Mikey, you know, I guess Mikey's saying to himself, why would I fight Richard Comey when I've already beat the man that already beat that man? We already know he beat Robert Easter Jr., did it in beautiful fashion. And I guess he's saying to himself, yo, bro, I ain't got no reason to be fighting Richard Comey right now when, you know, I've already beat Robert Easter Jr. But we'll see how this thing go, man. But yeah, man, vacating his IBF title tells us a lot. But you know how the IBF get down, man. They don't play when it comes to their mandatory. So we don't know how much on Mikey's ass that they really was to him to enforce that mandatory position. Maybe they wasn't giving them no time to work out negotiations. Maybe they wasn't giving them time to work out little side deals. But yo, man, that's just for the sake of this video and for the sake of this live stream. Let's talk about this from the stake that this is actually made and have a good shot of actually happening. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So what do y'all think about this, man? What do y'all think about this whole setup that's going down? You know, first off, if the fight happens, I want to be the first person here on YouTube to apologize to Mikey Garcia and the whole Robert Garcia Boxing Academy because, yo, I was the dude saying that Mikey just doing this for clout. I thought Mikey was honestly clout chasing. You know what I mean? And I thought, yo, I said, man, Mikey ain't going to do this, man. He just using Errol Spence Jr. name to big up himself, you know. So if this does happen, Let me be one of the ones out there to say off the skip, hats off to Mikey Garcia for trying to make an attempt to go after greatness. You know, trying to go up 2 weight class to take on the boogeyman of the weight division. The man can't even get a welterweight in the ring, and yet it's Mikey Garcia who said he gonna come from 135 to take on this dude. Slim, Mikey ain't playing no games if this thing is real, man. You know, real talk, man. That's the one thing I've always said about Earl Spence Jr. I said, yo, man, him and Kell Brook have a lot in common in one way or another. And that one thing is, both of these dudes were at welterweight. They were world champions, had the same damn title, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? Had the same damn title and could not get nobody in the ring. And that's the same thing that seemed like Errol Spence Jr. is going. And it took these men to fight other fighters at other weight classes just for some clout, just to keep their name up in the stars, just to stay relevant. You know what I mean? These dudes, man, they are paralleling each other, man. They are parallel. Their careers are so similar, in my opinion. Kell Brook just made the wrong mistake and went up 2 weight classes and got his face broken in. But however, Earl Spence Jr. is fighting a dude 2 classes below. Now, I know Bob Arum, believe it or not, got to be sitting back like, what the hell? Because, Slim, we want to see one fighter, both fighters fight top-ranked fighters, right or wrong. We wanted to see Mikey Garcia get in there with Vasyl Lomachenko, and we wanted to see Errol Spence Jr. get in there with my main man, Terrence Bud Crawford. Don't look like it's going to happen. So I know Bob Arum got to be sitting back like, damn, bruh. Tony O'Meara says, Mikey going for greatness. At least he's stepping up to Spence, unlike them other welterweights who should be. Yeah, you got to give that to Mikey, man. And then putting a lot on the line, you know. I think Mikey, though, man, looking at it like, look, man, I don't think Mikey want to be an old boxer. Mikey don't want to be sitting around boxing and he haven't done nothing great, man. Mikey's, what, 30 years old? You know what I mean? He's getting up there in age, and I can see Mikey maybe fighting for another couple years. And ever since his return from his hiatus from boxing, he hasn't had that. I think he thought the Bronner fight was going to be that one, but he hasn't had that one that really sets that bag up just right the way Mikey wanted. And I think he's looking at Errol Spence Jr. like, yo, this dude is on fire right now. Everybody calling him out. T-Bug calling him out. You even got bigger fighters like Demetrius Andrade up there talking about he won't fight Errol Spence Jr. Everybody except the ones that's in his damn weight class, like Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia, and Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? But everybody else, they calling Errol Spence Jr. name. So I'm thinking Mikey looking at it like, man, I can go up there and make that bag. We can do this on pay-per-view, and it's all good, yo. You know, Mikey, though, man, Mikey ain't never been no chump, man. That's one thing you got to give to Mikey Garcia. The only thing that I always questioned him over was his lack of fighting my main man, Terrence Crawford, when he had the perfect opportunity. Outside of that, man, I don't know what the polished shit of that was, but outside of that, you can't never take nothing away from Mikey. And I got to big him up if he going to actually do this, man. For real. Now, a lot of people going to say that, damn, man, Mikey, we want to see you fight Loma. I wanted to see the dude compete at 140. But to take on a challenge like this, and if he's even successful, dog, do y'all know the accolades that's going to come with this? We talking legendary status. Legendary for this dude, man. But, yo, man, I would have loved to see him mix it up with the 140 fighters. But Mikey thinking dollars. Mikey knows where it's at. PBC going to have some explaining to do because they supposed to be the leaders of free boxing. And they're giving us 3 straight pay-per-views, man. We talking what? Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in December. We talking possibly a Bronner versus Pacquiao in January. And now if this is actually comes to fruition in February, a 3rd straight month of pay-per-view, they're going to have us digging like a mother in our pocket. You hear me? We're going to be digging, man. But, hey, all good fights, truth be told. And, you know, if I guess PBC, man, the leaders of the free boxing and put it on free TV, they're going to give us a lot of shows. They've already announced that. But at the end of the day, damn, 3 straight months with pay-per-views, slim. They ain't playing no games, man. But, yeah, man. But, you know, Mikey, man, you got to give him props for what he doing. I mean, if this comes to fruition, like I said before, I accused this dude all year long of clout chasing. And I've been saying, like, man, this dude ain't going to step it up, man. Let me look at some of this stuff, man. What's up with you, Black Horseman Promotions? I see you, bro. What's up with you, man? Yeah, man, I thought I'd get up on here tonight, and we got to talk about this fight, man. If this thing comes to fruition, this can actually be something interesting, man. You know, if you look at it like this, though, man, how does it profit or hurt both fighters? First off, let's deal with Earl Spence Jr. I know what everybody going to say. If Mikey Garcia goes 12 rounds, then it's going to look like a bad look for Earl Spence Jr., right or wrong. It ain't gonna look good for Earl at all if he takes this. If Mikey hanging in there with him for 12 rounds, he don't stop this dude in devastating fashion. A much smaller fighter, it's gonna take that scary look. He ain't Michael Myers no more. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be Halloween What's the name of this one? He gonna be Halloween 2018. He ain't gonna be the Halloween from 1978. You know what I mean? If he goes in there and Mikey hanging there with him for 12 rounds. But you got to think of it like this. The good thing about this full Errol Spence Jr., if you want to look at the glass half full, is the fact that Errol Spence Jr. will have a name. And on top of that, he will have a pay-per-view record if they put this on pay-per-view. That strengthens his hand for any fighter, any big elite fighter that want to get in there with Errol Spence Jr. He'll tout those pay-per-view numbers. He'll tout the fact that, look, man, look at the work I put in. His price will be raised through the roof. And, his hand will be strengthened in, say, negotiations with like a Terrence Crawford. Because we know Bob Arum, what he want to do. He want to put this thing on pay-per-view, right? So guess what? If you want to put this on pay-per-view, check out my pay-per-view numbers. And this is why I deserve XYZ. That's the best thing that comes out of this, in my opinion, for Errol Spence Jr. And, as for Mikey Garcia, just taking an attempt at greatness, his Mexican fans are going to love him for it. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that this possible thing will go down in Texas. His Mexican fans are going to love him for just making the attempt. And if the attempt is valiant, if the attempt is him getting up in there and actually hanging with Earl Spence, if he wins, the man is legendary. But if he just gets in there and makes a valiant attempt, Mikey already, man, is going to be winning off the skip. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a good look for him, man. Says Marlonia 76 says PBC about to smash the competition. Yo, the way they starting off the year, shoot, pay-per-views coming out, man. Signing Manny Pacquiao, pay-per-views left and right. Talks between Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. Talks about Jared Swift Hurd versus Jamaal Charlo. I got to give it to PBC. It's a good start. And if they're going to hang in there with the DAZNs of the world, Slim, this is exactly the way they got to start the year off, man. Real talk, man. Real talk. Yeah, man. Like I say, man, I just think that this can be something great. Now, what we all expecting? Are we expecting Spence to just go in there and steamroll Mikey? Is that what we expecting? Because that's exactly what I'm expecting. You know what I mean? I'm expecting for him to go in there and get the job done. One of the ways that I think you are effective against Errol Spence Jr. is just some of the things that I don't think that Mikey can do. You know, I mean, I look back at the Kell Brook fight. Kell Brook stood in there with Errol Spence Jr. in the first half of that fight. He didn't run. He wasn't using his footwork overly too much. He was pushing Spence. He backed Spence up at times throughout the fight. And this proved to be a very effective against Errol Spence Jr. When Errol Spence Jr. got caught up on the ropes at certain times of that fight, he took some hard shots. And that was probably the best opponent that I've ever seen Errol Spence Jr. Take some competition with his whole career. And I wonder, can Mikey Garcia do that coming from 135 pounds? You did. Like, that's going to be tough, man. I hear what Mikey talking about. He sees something. But can he execute it? That's just, I think you got to be just as rough with Errol Spence as he is going to be coming at you. If he going to come at you like a freight train, you got to know how to hold your ground and push him back at times. Can Mikey do that? That's the golden question, man. Angry Kids Clothing says 3 to 4 rounds for Errol Spence Jr. Well, if it's 3 to 4 rounds for Errol Spence Jr., then hey, that's what I guess a lot of people going to be expecting. 135-pound fighter that should be in the ring with Vasyl Lomachenko? Shit, man. I'm expecting something similar to like that too. But this is Mikey Garcia, man. You know, Mikey ain't no pushover. There's been rumored that he done got in there with Marcos Maidana in the past. What the sparring rumors was he broke the ribs of Marcos Maidana. I mean, Marcos was a big dude. I don't know if he's quite as big as Errol Spence Jr., but Marcos was a big dude. But yo, man, I'm expecting Earl to go in there and get the job done, man. I'm being real with you, man. I think Mikey after that bag too, man. Teron Harris says Earl is not Superman, and his speech will be slurred if he don't turn into a boxer soon. Yeah, but shit, he might be right about that, but against other opponents. But are you expecting that for Mikey Garcia to be the one to do that to him? That's the golden question. And I'm just not. I mean, I don't. I just truly don't. So, I mean, look, if Mikey Garcia goes up in here, 12 rounds, starts to push Errol Spence Jr. back, our conversation going to change about this kid. And I'm just being 100, man. I mean, I like Mikey a lot. And he does what he does at the lower divisions ain't nothing short of extraordinary. But at the end of the day, I'm not expecting him to do that stuff against Errol Spence Jr. Real talk. And, you know, a lot of things, there's some things about Spence that's a little underrated. The dude got a decent jab, man. You can't take that away from him. His body attack is second to none. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the dude got a decent jab, man. And one of the things that I like about Mikey is that he has a decent jab. But is it good enough, strong enough to keep the beast of Errol Spence Jr. up off him? I don't know, Joe. I don't think so, man. Real talk. Brayon Thomas in the building. Salute to you too, bro. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Garcia going to get bullied. I think he is a great champion, but he's too small for a big welter in Spence. No question. I think so too, man. I mean, look, this could be seen as a money grab too, man. Like I say, word on the curb is that, yo, Mikey Garcia not trying to hang around boxing until he's 40. You know, the dude he wants to get paid properly. You know what I mean? And this is one of those type of fights that can do it. There's a reason that Bob Arum and Terrence Crawford is saying, look, we don't want to have nothing to do with Porter and Thurman, but we want to face Errol Spence Jr. They know where the money at, man. There's a lot of money facing Errol Spence Jr., especially on pay-per-view. Man, there's going to be a lot of people intrigued by this, man. Spence is Salido times 100. I don't know about that, bro. Spence has showed little skills, Marlonius, man. Like, he ain't just a walk you down, straight stand in front of you type dude. The dude works behind a decent jab, man. And he does, you know, cuts off the ring very, very well. You know what I mean? And against a smaller fighter like Mikey Garcia, I mean, what else? Even if you say it's going to be speed and movement, I mean, can Mikey do that for 12 rounds? Bruh, I mean, Slim, I just don't even see that, man. I just don't see that by far, man. But, you know, hats off to Mikey, man. At 30 years old, I think the dude is just really looking at the second half of his career, and he's trying to get to that door, and he know a bag going to come with this fight, man. Real talk, man. Real talk. But, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, like I said before, when you look at Errol Spence Jr.'s situation where, you know, he can't get none of the people in his same stable in the ring with him. He can't get none of the welterweights we want to see. He can't get none of the other champions, you know, other than Terrence Crawford, who calling him out from the rooftops. You know what I'm saying? But other than on this side of the street, he can't get nobody else. Clearly, PBC, Al Heyman, or whoever does not feel comfortable with putting him in the ring with Terrence Crawford right now. Maybe it's business, you know, maybe it ain't. But from what I understand, I know they won't try to look at, man, Spence and say, look, man, yeah, this is the percentage we get. And I think this fight, if it don't do anything for Errol Spence Jr., it raises his hand in negotiations, man, because he's going to tout the pay-per-view numbers. But yo, man, I mean, like I told y'all before in previous videos, I'm never a big fan. I learned my lesson with these weight class jumps. Yeah, we like to see great things done in boxing, but look at my main man, Kell Brook, man. Look what happened to him, man. Whole career got derailed from jumping up there and fighting Gennady Golovkin. Never been the same to me ever since. You know what I mean? Look at Amir Khan, man. That dude don't know if he walking, running, or skipping. You know what I'm saying? That dude, man, he went up there and got knocked out by Canelo, man, and it's over. So it's just, I'm aware of that, man, and it's just with me. I mean, good for Mikey, and I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. But at the end of the day, man, Jorge Linares, Vasil Lomachenko, Regis Prograis, there's some good names there, bro, that I would have loved to see him fight. And that's just being 100, man. Word on the curb, though, he ain't saying nothing about Terrence Crawford. I found that a little fun. Mikey has the skills, the power, and the superior ring IQ to compete with Spence. The question is, how will he take Spence's power, especially the body shots? Let's see how well he can handle it. We ain't never seen Mikey in there with nowhere near as strong as Errol Spence Jr. You know, even when he got in there with Adrian Braun, I thought he was the bully over Adrian Braun. You know, he never gave us he hasn't given us the Lomachenko or the Jorge Linares fighters that I think that will actually attempt to push Mikey back. Mikey he's a skillful fighter, and he can he can beat a matador. But at the end of the day, this dude, Errol Spence Jr., don't stop coming. Don't stop coming. And that's just a 135 fighter, bro. Like, you see how this dude getting people out of there? And it's just hard for me to even draw it I can't even picture it in my head. It's just hard for me to even see that. And maybe it's something I'm missing. You know what I mean? If Spence doesn't get overzealous and work his way in with the jab, double jab, etc., he can win. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Spence, I don't want he better not go in there getting overzealous, because though Mikey is a smaller man, let the knockout come. If that dude get in that joint and overwork himself for somehow, some way tire himself out, I'm just saying that ain't smart, because Mikey can use things like that to his advantage, man. And to all of my people out there who wondering, let's just put it out there on the forefront. Mikey is VADA tested and part of the Clean Boxer program. So I'm sure if Errol Spence Jr. was to fight Mikey Garcia, let's talk that out, because I know there's going to be some, oh man, he should join the Clean Boxing program. He should do that. Mikey is enrolled. So I'm sure in order for Mikey to do this fight, he's going to make Spence enroll in some type of superior VADA testing. So let's just talk that for everybody who got that on their brain, because you know how people are, man. Real talk. But yeah, man, I mean, a human sacrifice, but I can see it. But it's going to be a fat bag to come along with it. Maybe that's the ambition for Mikey. Maybe it ain't. Listening to Mikey Garcia, he just want to be great. He just want to do great things. He want to be, his name going to be in the stars. And if he defeats Errol Spence Jr., not only would his dude be legendary, top pound for pound, I still give him number 2, but still top pound for pound, well respected, world respected. I would never doubt the man again. But I just, like I said before, I just can't imagine it, man. I just don't see it. Remember, Spence has a huge weight cut, so it would be interesting to see how his body reacts. That is true, man, but, you know, Spence does have a huge weight cut, but he's been making the weight, and he's been making the weight seemingly comfortably. He's never came in overweight. He's never, none of that stuff. So until we see it, yeah, he's getting bigger and bigger by the month, bigger and bigger by the year, whatever you want to say, but we ain't never seen Errol Spence Jr. miss weight. And I ain't expecting for him to miss. If he wants to stay there and fight Thurman and Porter, which they probably are waiting him out, trying to get him big and make it harder for him to cut that weight. I don't deny that. But at the end of the day, he waiting for them dudes down at welterweight. He got every opportunity in the world to go to 54. Lou Bang 718 says, man, it's happening for real. Mikey has them fundamentals, but I don't think he has the speed for Errol. I mean, if he does have the speed, he damn sure ain't got the power, bro. Like, he cannot keep Earl off him. Earl is going to be walking this man down, working behind his double jab all fight. And eventually it's going to catch up with Mikey. I just, bro, if it's something, I'm not denying that Mikey is a fundamental fighter. But, I just don't, I mean, can somebody draw it up for me? Y'all know, man, I talk boxing all the time. I break down fights. I do it all. But when it comes to this one, me seeing a path of victory for Mikey, I'm going to need some help with that. I'm going to honestly need some help with that, man. I don't see it. Does Mikey only need the moral victory? Jarrell Scott. Well, I think in Mikey's eyes, it would still, if he gets the moral victory going 12 rounds, it would help him. And a lot of people won't, I mean, though he loses on paper, but a lot of his fan base will still celebrate him. And this is the reason why a lot of people say this is a win-win for Mikey no matter what. If he goes 12, it's a win for Mikey morally, especially amongst his fans and his fan base. The criticisms of Spence is going to come through the floodgates. People are going to say, oh, well, no. You know, oh, Spence ain't this and Spence ain't that. But you know what? In one way or another, it can help Spence too, because maybe that will draw a lot of fighters to actually get in the damn ring with him. You know what I'm saying? If Mikey goes 12 rounds with Errol Spence, this may lure out of Shawn Porter. And I know this may sound a little backwards, but it's the truth. They may see some weakness. Oh, we can exploit this or we can exploit that. So, but at the end of the day, morally for Mikey Garcia, man, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, if he keeps a close fight, yeah, it will be a victory for him morally. But, I mean, I don't think Mikey's thinking that way. I don't know, man. Listening to how Mikey talk, looking at his facial expressions, looking at how he talks about this whole situation. I don't know. I think deep down, Mikey really think he can get the job did. I really do think that deep inside of Mikey Garcia, he don't see this as some circus shit. He don't see this as a clown act. He really believes there's something in him that he sees. It reminds me of like remember when Sugar Ray Leonard sat along ringside and watched Marvin Hagler fight. And he said, I can get him. I can get him. Is this Mikey Garcia's Sugar Ray Leonard moment? That's the golden question. Exclusive Sports Talk says Mikey may not beat Mike. Says Mikey may not beat Mikey for obvious reasons, but he would do some things in the ring that would exploit Earl's flaws. Yeah, and that's going to be amongst the fans. That's what we're going to get up here and do. We're going to get up here and say, oh, Mikey did this. Oh, he was slipping Earl's jab. Oh, he was pushing Earl back. Oh, if Mikey can do it, then this guy can do it. You know, that's what we're going to say. You know what I mean? And a lot of his fan base is going to be like, oh, yeah, Mikey gave Errol Spence the best competition of his career. There was nobody in boxing that can do what Mikey has done to Errol Spence Jr., not even Kell Brook. And that's where the more victories going to come in for Mikey. It will still lead to more big fights for Mikey. Who knows? It may even make him some sort of pay-per-view draw and for a fight with Vasil Lomachenko. I mean, either way, the pay-per-view numbers, if Mikey doesn't remain at welterweight, can help both of these dudes in the long run. Vasil Lomachenko, you know, if Bob gonna have to come correct to Mikey, and Bob gonna have to come correct to Earl for Bud Crawford, because they're gonna say, look, we move X amount of units. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if Spence actually wanted to fight Crawford. Yeah, you know, but you know, my position unbiased is, man, that this is all stupid business. You know, at the end of the day, we don't support the business aspect of boxing. We all know. But I think that's what it is. I don't think it's fear. I don't think it's scared by anything. I just think somebody trying to get the upper hand, somebody trying to get more leverage. And I don't think Errol Spence Jr. want to cross that street with the conditions the way they are today. He needs something better on his resume to make his case to Bob Arum and Top Rank and say, this is why y'all going to respect me in negotiations. As of today, he just don't got it. The Kell Brook victory ain't looked at like that, bruh. You know what I mean? The Kell Brook victory ain't looked at. It's looked at like you beat a broken dude. You know what I'm saying? That's like, here we are years later when we talk about the Kell Brook fight. Oh, his eye got messed up. Kell was outboxing him in the early portion, so his eye got messed up. So it took some luster away from Spence's victory in that fight, unfortunately. Going forward with Terrence Crawford. But I got to tell you, man, Terrence is looking like the true boogeyman of the welterweight division today. T-Bud out. Look, you don't see Mikey coming up saying T-Bud name. You don't see Spence taking that fight. You did. I heard Shawn Porter like, nah, we friends. You know, we buddies, man. I ain't fighting him. You dig where I'm going? Only one I really heard talking crap and it doesn't get nearly enough press is actually Danny Swift Garcia. Danny Garcia did not feel appreciated that a lot of people gave Bud Crawford more accolades down at 140 by him becoming undisputed as to what he done. So I heard some bad words coming out of Danny Garcia's mouth. But outside of that, it's like everybody else like treating this dude like he the plague, man. God damn. You know what I'm saying? Mikey could have fought Terrence. Mikey could have been 4 T-Bud, yo. These two dudes were one weight class apart. Man, even when Mikey first came back, T-Bud was still there. You heard nothing. Oh, I'm beefing with Bob Arum. I don't want anything to do with Bob Arum. So sick of that type talk. Bud was right there. And now he at welterweight, so it's good. Don't hear nothing. All crickets, though. All crickets, man. But yeah, man. According to Ali Al, Floyd almost never had the power, and he hasn't lost yet. Mikey and his brother have a game plan. Spence has to figure out that what that is before he gets in the ring or he gets out game plan. They can have you look, man. Everybody got a plan till they get hit, right? All I'm saying is Mikey can have a game plan, but physically, can he execute that game plan? I'm not saying that Mikey ain't a smart boxer. I'm not saying Mikey doesn't have a good ring IQ, but physically, can he properly execute with a strong young bull coming at him that's pissed off at everybody because he never got his shot? And then he pissed off at the world. And then he knows that there's fans out there that's really saying that, dude, I can actually lose to a 135-pound fighter. Oh, fuck no. He going to go in there with something to prove too. So that's the question. I mean, look, if it come down to X's and O's, I don't deny that Mikey can get the job did. But when it comes down to physicality, that's going to be the golden question, bro. Robert Rowland, what it is, bro. What it is, man. Hey, y'all hit the like button for me, man. Hit the like button for me. Y'all know I don't do this often, but when I do it, I love to have fun with y'all, man. Yeah, man. So we'll see how this goes. Now, you know, like I want to keep going back. None of this is actually official. This is just writing on the wall. You know, Mikey vacating his IBF. They saying the joint is 90% done. They're hunting for a venue. We heard Texas. Most importantly, one thing we got to keep our eye on is that Mikey has not vacated his WBC title. So we'll see how this shit go, man. Mikey gave Chino that work in sparring for Floyd. Spence gave Money May that work in sparring for Floyd. I mean, in sparring for Chino. Yeah. Yeah, they both, do they, sparring. I don't never like to use sparring as a barometer. You don't know. Sparring ain't full. You don't know what they were working on. You don't know if they were working on footwork. They were working on angles. They were working on defense. They were working on offense. You don't know. You know what I mean? But you know, the word on the curb is that he broke Marcos Maidana ribs in sparring, from what I heard. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. But Marcos Maidana ain't Errol Spence Jr. Let me just say, Marcos Maidana is not Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We'll see, man. Yo, man, I just wish somebody give me a game plan out there. I hear y'all fans, y'all saying, oh, he's the more technical dude. Oh, yeah. Mikey's jab is potent. He put that jab on Bronner and tamed Bronner. But is that jab potent enough to keep Errol Spence Jr. off? Mikey has good footwork, no doubt about it. But has he ever been in there with such a body snatcher and a dude so big as Errol Spence Jr.? And this is what I'm saying. Yo, I'm not taking nothing away from Mikey Garcia. What he does at the lower weights, solid. But, you know, I don't know, man. I don't see it. It's hard for me to see. Earl was built off sparring. Floyd, speaking of Floyd, I got him still beating Spence. Teron Hurd, you say you got Floyd still beating Spence? So I think a lot of fight fans believe that basically, from what I'm seeing from the comments, yo, y'all believe that basically Spence can be outthought. Like if a smart fighter that executes a smart game plan against Errol Spence, y'all believe that that's how Spence loses a fight. Maybe that's the thing that turns Bud Crawford. Now, if we talking turns Crawford, the conversation is different. I'm way more sure of what y'all saying. But when it just comes to the physicality, of Mikey Garcia versus Spence, that's what makes it hard for me to believe. And I'm not saying that he can't, but it just makes it hard to believe, yo. You know what I mean? Yeah, Earl was built off sparring Floyd. Yeah, well, I mean, Earl was built off knocking everybody out, bro. Earl was built off the body work that he showed the world what he can do. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you, man, if you don't stop Mikey, and I'm talking stop him, I need him to be stopped 7th, maybe 8th round. The conversation is going to tilt. We're going to start looking at Earl like, hold up, Joe. Hold up. You supposed to be now. You finally get in there with a good elite name since Kell Brook. And this is what we see. You let a 35 fighter take you 12 rounds and you think you're going to get in there with T-Bud? That's where the conversation going to go. And man. 2 cans. Teron Hurd says 2 cans. Yeah, I mean, look, man. I don't know, man. I just think, I mean, well, I don't know if we get this ain't the name that I prefer. I want to see Showtime Shawn Porter. I want to see Danny Garcia. I want to see Keith Thurman. But if this fight can open up another door to a Terrence Bud Crawford fight, I think that's to be the only way I'll be down to support it, because I know what they're going to do. They're going to say, look at the numbers that I put up, Bob. Now we can talk business. And that's what I think it all comes down to at the end of the day. We'll see, man. We'll see. I hope Mikey, man, go over there and give his best effort. And I just hope this ain't a thing just to make a bag of money. But deep down, nah, man. I think Mikey is like, duh, I can do something with this dude, man. I see some things. What do y'all think he see, though, in Earl? Y'all think he just see that Earl just a come forward fighter? Y'all think that he see that this Earl just, aside from walking you down, if you be an outboxer on Earl, you can exploit Earl? Or if you push him back, you can exploit Earl? What do y'all think is the thing that Mikey Garcia really sees that he can take advantage of over Errol Spence Jr.? Bright Lights, what's up with you, man? You say Mikey got balls? Hell yeah, he got balls, man, to take this on, because he can never be the same. He can actually walk away from this fight seriously hurt, man. You better be careful. Yeah, he got an enemy slap Mikey and get him out of there. He got to get him out of there, bro. A 135 fighter, and you are the dude that's labeled as the Michael Myers of the division. If you got to get this dude out of there, Slim, like you got to get him out of there in devastating fashion. And I'm shocked that Earl is even opening that door to that type of criticism. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I'm not, people going to sit back because there's going to be some people out there like, oh, Earl don't want to fight T-Bud, but he'll fight little Mikey. Let's just be honest, though. It's Mikey that wrote this check. It's Mikey that jumped in this water. You know what I mean? Earl was minding his business, trying to call out the other dudes. Mikey came out of nowhere talking this smoke. So guess what? If the bag gonna come along with it and you keep calling my name, fuck it. We get it on, Slim. We get it in. But I damn sure tell you what, Earl is opening the floodgates to criticism if he don't go in there and look impressive against a 135-pound fighter. Teron says he think he can exploit the come forward style of Spence. Yeah, I mean, maybe so. You know, I mean, you know how it is, man. A lot of fighters, when they see come forward fighters, they see so many things from ringside. Oh, if I touch him right here, if I touch him right there, if I keep turning him, oh yeah, if I tire him out and I take that away from him, then I can exploit this, I can exploit that. Maybe that could be the thing that Mikey sees. I don't deny that, you know what I mean? But can Mikey physically stay in with that? If Earl doesn't destroy Mikey, that might give Porter, Thurman, and Garcia the balls to fight him. Mr. Martin, I just said that a little earlier, man. I was just like, yo, that's the one good thing. If he take him 12, this may say, you know, they're going to have them bring seconds. You know they're going to be at the fight. You know they're going to be why they ain't going to miss this. Those dudes, trust me to believe, Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, and Danny Garcia are looking for holes on Errol Spencer Jr. They are sitting back trying to find and look for any little thing that they can see to get in there and say, yeah, oh yeah, I can take advantage of that. So yes, trust and believe. And who knows? He might lure him out with that shit, man. I don't see how Mikey gets past that jab. Never mind that body work. Robbie Rowland, and you know Spence like to double up the jab. He'll put that jab out there twice, bam, bam, then go downstairs, bam. You know what I'm saying? But Mikey is a solid fighter, and his footwork, man, is good. If he gets out of the way of that, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, Adrian Bronner couldn't steamroll him. I didn't see nobody at 140 really push Mikey back without Mikey effectively blocking, without Mikey effectively, you know, slipping those punches. I ain't seen nobody can do it. You know what I mean? I doubt even very seriously if Vasil Lomachenko can do it. But I don't know, man. No. Let's talk about Spence power. He has it, but it's cumulative power punches, not one punch knockout power. That's true. That's true, unless you're talking about Carlos Ocampo, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you're right. It always, like when he fought Leonard Bundu, it took him some time to get Leonard Bundu out of there. He had to, you know, he had to break Leonard down properly, and Leonard was doing a lot of awkward stuff in there, man. But he had to break him down. He couldn't get him out of there with one shot, even in the Chris Algieri fight. And we know Chris Algieri moved a hell of a lot while he was in there with Spence. But you know, eventually he had to wear down Chris Algieri. Then he stopped him, devastating fashion. And it would have to take that with Mikey Garcia. But when Mikey being a 135 fighter, I'm expecting for him to do it a little faster. You know what I mean? It's still a win-win situation for Mikey, whether he wins or loses if he survives 12 rounds. Yeah, that's true. That's what I've been saying, man. If he go 12 rounds, the criticism going to be going through the rooftops, man. VVS1, Lou Stones, LDBC, what it do? What it do, VVS1, Lou Stones? What it do, man? Appreciate you, and shout out to the whole LDBC, man. Real talk. Antonio Mas, Ali Al. Ocampo was timing more than power. Yeah, that thing was timed perfectly, right on the navel. 2 shots, though. I mean, it wasn't no accumulative work. My man said it took some accumulative work. 2 shots, bang, bam. And it was a wrap, Cap. You hear me? That's all I'm saying, man. I mean, shit. Don't say Earl can't do it. He hit you in the right spot. If it goes 12, it's a rematch. I don't want to see no rematch. You know, if Mikey don't get the job done, I don't want to see a rematch. You know what I mean? I think that Mikey would take a good shot, and if he don't get it did, it is what it is. He give his best effort. He pleases his fans. They get some good pay-per-view. They get some good press out of this, and maybe they go off to get fights with Vasil Lomachenko, and hopefully my main man turns Bud Crawford. That's what I really want to see. Real talk, man. Mr. Martin says Spence doesn't swing for the fence like some guys. If so, I'm sure he has one-punch power. Yeah, but I mean, he don't need it, man. If that's not him, he don't need to come out of character. He need to let that knockout come to him, man. Take his time, sit back, work behind the jab. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. But he don't need to get out of character at all, man. I don't think so. I think he need to do what he do, and eventually the knockout should come. And then when you're talking about this dude, it should come faster than it, you know, than anybody else. Real talk. Ocampo looked like he was gone. Put up a pretty good fight till he got. Man, he ain't put up no good fight. You can't put up no good fight for 1 round. You know what I'm saying? You put up a good fight for 1 round. Ocampo was a dead man walking. You know what I mean? So soon as Spence let his hands go, it was a wrap. I can't, Ali Al says he hopes they hope the other welterweight stop bitching up after this. No question, man. Like I told you, man, it shouldn't take for this dude to go and fight a dude 2 weight classes below him just to convince these dudes, man. This shit is sad, man. This is a sad state of boxing that we in when it takes Mikey to grow a pair of balls to go up there and take on Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter and Danny and Thurman to sit back politricking. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, that shit, this is a sad state of boxing to see this. But once again, hats off to Mikey Garcia just for taking this fight, if he takes this fight. Real talk. Spence is down 95% of his punches. Yeah. Yeah, look how he swings, man. I mean, look, I'm not taking nothing away from Spence. And for those who are wondering about his one-punch knockout, man, he don't need one-punch knockout. I think he can with the right opponent. I mean, we seen that with Carlos Ocampo, then stopping him to the body. Let's not forget, he's not hitting these cats on the chin. He's stopping these cats to the body, bruh. Like, that's a whole nother level of stopping the man. And then he did it with his previous 4 opponents, I believe it was. He's stopping these cats to the body. Man, that's something serious, man. But I need to see Spence do that with an elite dude, man. Mikey will test Spence reaction time. Those are the things, yeah. Mikey is going to test a lot of things from Errol Spence Jr. No doubt about it, because Mikey just brings a certain pedigree himself. Mikey has a hell of a jab. He has hella reflexes. He has a hell of a boxing IQ. I believe that Mikey can adjust. Mikey can do so many things in the ring. And it's going to have to bring out some of the best things that Spence can do. And we're going to see how it measures up. On the only downslide to it, it's going to measure up against a smaller guy. Now, Mikey can shock all our asses and come in that thing like Buff Jones. You know what I'm saying? Buff up a little bit. He makes 140. I thought he looked bigger than Adrian Bronner when he fought Bronner. We don't know, man. Mikey might buff up a little bit, but that may affect him one way or another too, man. Lamont was elite. Robert Rowland. You know, I'm from DC and I don't talk ill about my DC fellow fighters, but Lamont at that point, man, he wasn't at he had been in so many wars, rumors of wars. I don't think at that point, I don't know if he was still considered elite, but he was a champion. He was the WBA regular champion, but elite, it's a long stretch for me, man. Thank you, man. They haven't seen Spence fight on the elite level yet, IQ-wise. Brook is not elite, people. At least not that version of him wasn't. You know, he was already half broken up. He was battling with weight issues. You know, we see my main man, Kell Brook. They talking about he left him and Dom Ingle was separated because he want to work on fundamentals in his camp. And he's thinking back to that, those previous camps, and he thought those were like weight loss camps. So, you know, it wasn't it. Other welterweights should be embarrassed. Yeah, they should be embarrassed. And I hope Mikey go in there and get, you know, if Mikey go in there and give us a good fight, they should be sitting embarrassed. And I hope people don't abandon that narrative, Joe. They should be ashamed of themselves for allowing Mikey Garcia to come up 2 weight classes, taking on Spence before them. They should be ashamed, Joe. For real. Lamont had the wrong game plan. He stood in front of Spence. Yeah, and he bright lights. He came in that joint big too, man. Came in that thing looking to hopefully withstand some of that some of the punches. Hats off to Lamont though for not sitting around and waiting on a bunch of bullshit, man. Lamont just wanted to go in there and get a good fight. He wasn't down for waiting and polish shitting and, you know, who gonna fight? Oh, this side can't make a fight. That side can't. Lamont wanted to go in there and fight. And that's one thing I got to give Lamont Peterson. He ain't get up to welterweight. He seen Spence coming up and he like, fuck that. That's my man and everything. But he the dude, and I'm going right at him, man. Real talk. Real talk. Lamont been on the downside since the Diaz fight. But yeah, I mean, that's why I say Lamont at that point was in wars, rumors of war. He was been in so much at that point before he fought Errol Spence Jr. It would have been a good fight to see maybe a year and a half earlier. But at that point, I think Lamont was just, he knew the door was close and he just wanted to go out with a bang, man. Real talk. Lamont got big heart. Lamont had more heart than all them welterweights. Say what y'all want. Lamont got in there with Spence. Lamont didn't sit back and politrick and polish it. You know what I'm saying? No. Lamont says, look, this is what it is. Yeah, Lamont beat Danny. Lamont pulled that off at the end, if you ask me, man. Real talk. Lamont stood his ground, walked Danny down in the end of that fight. Man, Danny was on his bicycle. The same way I thought Mauricio Herrera beat him. Real talk. Real talk, man. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, once again, if this fight happens between Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr., I got nothing but respect. And I have to once again issue an apology to that whole camp because I was saying Mikey was just clout chasing and I didn't think it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Catch Spence before he warms up. Yeah, man. You know, it takes Spence a couple rounds sometime. I'm expecting Mikey to have minor success, but I'm also expecting Spence to get in there and get the job done early. Because if not, I'm telling y'all, man, how is we going to sit back and say for sure that Errol Spence Jr. turns Bud Crawford if he gets in there and Mikey taking him 12 rounds? I don't know, bro. It's just going to be interesting, man. So I hope we get it, man. I hope we get it. Robert Rowland says after all in wars, he won the regular belt at 147. I'm taking you talking about Lamont Peterson. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I ain't saying Lamont. I mean, he won that regular title, but I mean, he didn't win that super title. He didn't get a shot at it. You know what I mean? And I always talk back about that fight, and I say, damn, I wish actually Errol Spence Jr. would have fought Lamont for that title, because he would have had the option to actually enter the WBA and be right next to Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? It would have just worked out good. Mikey's midsection is soft. Yeah, Mikey, you know, when he got in there with Adrian Broner, I told you he looked more bigger than Adrian Broner. Looked a little more puffed up. You know what I'm saying? Adrian was trying to not to lose no money on the scales because he got that child support coming. He was like, damn, that they had financial penalties on him. So Broner came in there looking a little small. But as for Mikey, I thought Mikey was real puffed up. He got to come in there more solid than puffed up against the say Errol Spence Jr., man. But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I think it's like I said, we'll see if it happens. It's not official right now. Mikey's abandoning his IBF title. He will not be fighting Richard Comey. He has not yet to abandon the WBC. So we got to keep our eye on that. I don't know if he's keeping his eyes open or see what's going to happen in that situation. But according to Luke Campbell, he wants his shot, and he's putting pressure on the WBC. If Mikey is leaving, he want that title or a shot at that title. So we'll see how that all works out, man. But it's going to be a good one, man. Robert Rowland says, I don't, VVS Loose Stone says, I don't look at it that way, bro. Who did he beat to get the belt? Who you talking about? Lamont Peterson? Who did Lamont? Terrence Crawford needs to square up and fight Lamont. That would be a good fight for him, and Lamont is a credible opponent. Yeah, but Lamont retired. Lamont done, man. Lamont ain't talking about fighting right now. Bright Lights. Jacobs wants Charlo bad. Yeah, Jacobs wants Charlo bad, Joe. You know, but look, I'm hearing some talks about Eddie Hearn talking about some Charlo got to take a 90-10 split. Like, I hope that ain't the case, because if that's the case, I don't know how bad they want him. But I do think that Jamaal Charlo need to go ahead and consider his own. I mean, that's just me personally, man, because it's his career. That's where all the belts at. That's where all the champions at. You know what I mean? I think that Jamaal Charlo, if he wants to be successful at that division, and if Triple G going over there to zone also, you need to consider it, man. Yeah, Lamont done, man. Lamont ain't talking about fighting. Lamont ain't talk ever since he lost to Earl, man. Lamont has been done. Lamont says he is done. That was it. He wanted to go out with that bang, man. Real talk, and I respect him for it. I mean, you want to test yourself going out the door? Why not test yourself against the so-called best at the division? This is what I'm saying, man. Jacobs is full of shit. He don't want to fight Charlo. He pricing himself out. Yeah, man. I mean, I can't be mad at what Jacobs doing. Jacobs just following what the belt said, man. Look, man. I mean, what is he supposed to do? I mean, just not rock over there with Canelo and Triple G and Andre. But I don't like the way Jacobs is approaching that Andre situation. Look, man, all that we friends and we buddies and we've been cool since this. I ain't trying to hear all that, bro. I ain't trying to hear all that, man. Real talk. You need to get in there with Andre if the opportunity presents itself. You know what I'm saying? Charlo, though, unfortunately, man, I'm sorry, man. He got to think about seriously getting with the zone. And Eddie got to come with a serious offer. That 90-10 shit ain't right. That shit ain't going to be cool. So I don't know, man. I don't think that's cool, man. Charlo, I mean, I want to see Charlo versus Jacobs, but I can't be mad at what Jacobs is doing right now. As of right now, when it comes to Showtime or PBC at that middleweight division, shit looking job, man. Shit looking job lonely over there, man. Real talk. And he got to do what's best for his career. I'm not like a lot of boxing fans who, you got to align yourself with this network or you got to stay with that network. What's best for your damn career? That's what you got to do, bruh. That's what he got to do, man. What do you think of Earl Spence's drinking problem? Do you think it will hurt him against Mikey Garcia? I don't know if Errol Spence Jr. got a drinking problem, man. That's just some bullshit right there. We see the man twisted, having fun one damn night, and then all of a sudden he has a drinking problem. We see him turning up in the club a couple times. Now he got a drinking problem. Yo, that dude getting money. Like when they do these club appearances, that's all side money, man. I don't say if he had a drinking problem. I don't know if he got a drinking problem. But if he like to have a drink every now and again, yo, he's a fighter. He put his body through hell to make fights, to make weight. If you want to have a good night out, he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Jacobs calling out to Canelo too. Yeah, but see, Jacobs be on some I'm running after the money shit. Like, are you really trying to step in? You pulled up on Charlo, bruh. Like, you should be trying to make every avenue happen to make that fight. But on the other end, I understand him aligning himself up with the zone because that's where the smoke at. He go over there with if he want to do a one-fight deal on the PBC side, that's possible, I would think. If Jamaal Charlo want to do a one-fight deal on the DAZN side, that's possible, I would think, right? What the hell? Why it ain't happening? All this talk, man. Because Nate Jones said he does. Yeah, Nate Jones is talking shit, man. Nate Jones talking shit, man. You know, that's why I was so glad when Errol Spence Jr. came out the other day and said, man, Floyd ain't got nothing to do with my career, man. That whole, you know, Floyd be on some other shit. They putting this out there on that man, Joe. They don't know that man got a drinking problem. Why? Because he came in Floyd gym and did what he did in Floyd gym. Nate Jones need to sit his ass down somewhere, man, and stop putting little bullshit out there in the public like that, man, for real. That's something you don't know. And if he drinks, so what? It's better than him sniffing coke. It's better than him shooting dope. He want to have a drink now and again, that's fine. But to say he got a drinking problem, man, Nate Jones got an eating problem. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Tell him to sit his big ass down. Man, you need to stop putting stuff out there like that because there's a lot of fans out there that will hear something like that and run with it. You know what I mean? Real talk. That drinking shit is probably bullshit. Everybody around Spence says he trained. Man, when I see them training videos of Spence, that dude in the gym got a bucket of sweat coming off him, tip-top conditioning, punishing bigger fighters. Man, dog, that don't look like a dude that's got a drinking problem. That look like a dude that got a beat down problem. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, look, I got my criticisms of Errol Spence. Don't get me wrong. But for them to put that out there about him, he got a drinking problem because he had one fun night out, took over Shawn Porter's press conference, roughed off the podium. You know what I'm saying? Stepped in that joint like a boss. You hear me? Now he got a drinking problem. Man, fuck out of here, man. Yeah, they done ran with it, Robert Rowland. You know that, you know that's, man, people out here, oh, Spence drink too much. I be seeing them comments, man. Everybody who out here saying that, man, y'all need to stop, Joe. Spence drink too much. Y'all see that man twisted one time. One time. How many years we've been watching this man fight? Man, cut it out, man. Cut it out. You know, it's like, yo, if you're a Terrence Crawford fan, then keep it, and say Spence this and Spence that. That's one thing. But to say, oh, he got a drinking problem, man, come on, man. That's some serious shit, man. Yeah, that's foolery, Robert. It's foolery and it's fuckery, man. So I don't subscribe to that, man. I don't subscribe to that at all. Let that young boy live his life. He having fun. Let him do what he do. He got a profession. He being ducked. So if he got such a drinking problem, then why ain't nobody getting in the damn ring with him? Other than my main man T-Bud, who trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? That's it, man. Real talk. So, I just hope all these fights come to fruition, man. At the end of the day, whether it comes to Charlo and Jacobs, whether it comes to T-Bud and Spence on his side of the street, I just want to see these fights happen. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Yeah, I was definitely surprised to hear that. Yeah, man. Nate Jones, I don't know where he get off from that, man. What the hell did Spence do to that Mayweather gym? Why they so mad at him? 1 minute we got Floyd out here. Oh, man, I told Al not to make the fight. Man, you don't tell Al nothing, man. That Spence came out and clarified that ASAP. Man, Floyd ain't never signed a check of mine, Joe. Come on, man. Floyd need to be worrying about what the hell he gonna do and stop trying to turn boxing into the Kumite, fight UFC fighters, fighting Kung Fu masters. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Street Fighter 2 Turbo, bruh. This boxing. That's what Floyd need to worry about, and so does Nate Jones. Bright Light says he's waiting on Keith Thurman to come back. Yeah, I'm waiting on Keith Thurman to come back too, man. Whenever that may be, we keep hearing that he's gonna come back. The last one that really threw me for a loop when he had a bruised bone. That one. I'm a major fan of Keith One Time Thurman, but when that man came out, it was like I got a bruised bone a bruise of the bone or some shit. Yo, I was like, sir, are you serious? This man say he has a bruised bone. What are you? I was like, Slim, I'm done. Slim, like, that's my man, but a bruised bone though. Keith One Time Thurman, your bones are bruised. Like, what the fuck? If your bones is bruised by sparring, man, God damn, but Earl gonna mess around, dude. So he gonna bruise your bones, the DNA, and everything else, man. Bruise bones. I was like, what the hell is that, bruh? I didn't heard it all from these fighters, man. Real talk, man. I didn't heard it all. Yeah, Keith, my man. I got love for Keith. I still see him, and a lot of people don't like this position, but it is what it is. But I still see Keith Thurman as the number one welterweight because nobody has surpassed him. And I mean, it's not about how people are looking in the ring and, oh, he looked like he can beat Keith Thurman. At the end of the day, nobody ain't surpassed him. No one has outdone him at the welterweight division ever since he left. And that's the sad state of boxing. He said it was his shoulder. He messed up and changed his story. Yeah, I remember that. But let's know that was before he said he had a bruised bone. Because remember, he was supposed to come back. And when he was supposed to come back after that, they was like, oh, no, he had bone bruises. That's what it was. He had bone bruises, bro. I did a vid on that, man. They said he had bone bruises. So I'm like, dog, come on, man. That's just a soft one right there, bro. You got fighters that has went in there with, you need to get you one of the Manny Pacquiao TUEs, or you need to go, go swim in the ocean like Manny did, or whatever the case may be, and get rid of your bone bruises, bro. Like, for real, man. Real talk, I think Porter's aggressiveness, work rate, and ability to take a punch will give Crawford hell. Yeah, Porter and Crawford would be a good fight, but, Bob Arum counseled that before we can even start to talk about it. He's like, oh, nah, I don't want him to fight against Porter. I don't want him to fight against Thurman. Oh, who else? He said Danny. It has to be Errol Spence Jr. Then Porter's coming on out like, that's his homie and all of this shit, man. Like, dog, I don't know where they doing this stuff at, bro. I do think that Keith Thurman would be Errol Spence's toughest fight. I think Earl get rid of Shawn Porter, though, in my opinion. I think Shawn comes in there with a full head of steam and just tailor-made to exactly what Errol Spencer Jr. likes to do. I think he'll be bigger than Shawn. I think he'll be hitting Shawn in places where it hurts, coming forward, hitting him to the side, hitting him to the ribs, slowing Shawn down. And once Shawn starts to slow down and starts to back up, I think it'll be lights out. That saltwater bath. Yeah, man, he needs something, man. A bubble bath, the saltwater bath, because he has bone bruises. You know what I'm saying? Go play the flute. You know what I mean? Go have a little snake come out the basket. You know what I mean? I don't know what Keith Thurman need to do, but he needs to find his hunger back, at the end of the day. I looked at a quote that Jack Dempsey has said, man, and how he was talking about, how he had to fight and he had to win because that back then they were only paying him $2 and, you only got paid if you won. So he was saying how it doesn't matter how many times he got knocked down, and he know, when you hungry and you got to go home and you got to eat, you get back up and you do what you got to do. Thurman don't have that hunger no more, at least for right now, and that's the thing. Yeah, I think he beats Porter. That's why Porter hesitant. Porter know what it is. Porter's gonna go try to get that Berto fight again, Ugas, whoever, and then maybe try to line up Keith Thurman one more time, which is something that none of us is clamoring for. But at the end of the day, it's Keith Thurman trying to go back after his old title. I'm expecting the Earl Spence Jr. fight, man. Real shit. Yeah, he holding on to the title for dear life. Ali Al, he's holding on to that title for dear life because he know what it is, bruh. He know what it is. And he know that Spence's style is something, we heard Kenny Porter say that they sparred in the gym. And I would have, I would pay good money to see that sparring tape just to see how Errol Spence Jr. handled the aggression of Showtime Shawn Porter. But don't get it twisted. I do think Shawn Porter has some success. I always stand to the fact that when Kell Brooks stood up to Errol Spence Jr., that was his most successful portion of the fight. Real talk. Yeah, I like Porter, man, but I think Porter walks into a lot of punches that he wouldn't want to receive downstairs in the body area from Errol Spence Jr. But, once again, man, I just want to let everybody know, man, that if the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. fight happens, at the end of the day, let it go. And we can't criticize Errol Spence Jr. for fighting a smaller fighter. This is something that Mikey talked his way into. Now, Mikey talked his way into this all year long. Nobody put a gun to Mikey's head. Nobody told Mikey to say this. His family tried to talk him out of it at one time. This will be all on Mikey Garcia. Real talk. How Berto keep getting title fights. Because him and Al, man, they cool. Him and Berto and Al super tight, man. They've been tight like that for years, man. I don't know how the hell, but Berto been fighting his ass off. He lost to Porter, But his victories over Devin Alexander, his victories over what's his name, Lunchbox, Victor Ortiz, you know, those mean something, man. And I would have liked to see Berto versus Earl Spence Jr. Anybody, man, any welterweight with some semi-name. God damn. Other than your Carlos Ocampos of the world, man. For real. Mikey blew the smoke. He got to breathe it in. Real talk. Hey, real shit. Real talk. Mikey wrote this check. He got to cash it, bro. So that's why I say, man, we can't be talking against Earl. Earl was minding his damn business, chilling in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Catering to his dogs. And here come Mikey Garcia. Oh, I see something. I see something. Okay. You see something. You want smoke? It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. But yo, man, I'm gonna go ahead and really shut this thing down. It has been nothing but a pleasure to see everybody. I thank everybody who showed up tonight. Let's just say, man, I just really think that I hope that, you know, a big fight for Errol Spence Jr. comes along soon, whether it be this Mikey Garcia fight, whether it be the Terrence Crawford fight, any welterweight with a respectable name. I want, you know what never gets talked about though, before I end this, why isn't it ever talked about Kell Brook getting a rematch with Earl Spence Jr.? He said he got injured and this, that, and the third. Well, Kell Brook has had more than enough time to heal. You know what I'm saying? They announced the fight that he's going to be fighting on December 8th. I'd rather see a rematch between him and Spence. He pulled up on Spence when he came over here by himself. Remember, after one of them fights? I'd like to see that, man. I'd like to see that, man. That would have been a career-ending fight for Berto. Yeah, but Berto ain't got much longer anyway. Why not go out like my man Lamont did, trying to, you know, prove himself and see what he got left in the tank? That's what great fighters do. A lot of great fighters go out like that on their shield. You know what I'm saying? They try to prove themselves that one last time. Yeah, Kell wants Khan. Yeah, unfortunately, man. Yeah, but Kell, man, this dude he talking about fighting, man. Zarafa, man. I'm not talking big about that fight. I covered it in a video earlier, man. Ain't nobody even really tripping off that fight, man. Kell need to try to at least go in there, get a respectable name, maybe raise his hand and leverage against Amir Khan, who's gonna try to take him to the cleaners, make him do rehydration clauses and all this dumb shit. Man, why not go in there, man, try to get Errol Spence Jr. again? You pulled up on him. Tell Earl to meet you up at 151, 152, and we can get it in. I think that would be respectable. You know what I mean? I don't know what the politics will play out like with the zone and all this other shit. But at the end of the day, that's what Kell Brook, I would have liked to see him go down there, right? Or why didn't Kell Brook go after Terrence Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook and Terrence Crawford. If you want to go back down to welterweight, fight of respect. Kell Brook's whole thing was when he was down at welterweight and as a world champion, none of the big dudes wanted to step in the ring with him. But guess what, man? I'm sure Terrence Crawford would take that fight, and I'm damn sure I think that Earl Spence Jr. would take that fight too. Yeah, man. He wanted it at 154, then he got quiet. He got quiet when Saddam Ali lost his title. When Jaime Munguia had that title. Yeah, man. Did you like the Rougarou fight? I love, man. Hey, shout out to my main man, Regis Prograis, man. I got nothing but respect for that dude. I'm betting my money that he wins that 140 tournament. Anybody want to, I think it's going to come down to him and Josh. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing but love for Regis, man. And Regis said after he gets done at 140, he coming up to welterweight. I think this dude is getting better and better every fight. And I'm telling you, by the time he makes it through this tournament, he gonna be one shot, man. He gonna be iron sharp as iron, and he gonna come out damn sharp, Joe. Real talk. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what Brook need to do, man. Brook need to consider fights like that. That smoke is right there, and I think Bud accepts. I think Bud will fight Kell Brook. You know what I mean? Shit. I was hoping that Amir Khan wouldn't say the name of Kell Brook because I ain't really tripping off. I ain't tripping off nothing that Amir Khan do at this point because I think everybody knocks him out. I think everybody knocks him out, man. Everybody. You know what I mean? So I ain't tripping off. I want to see Kell Brook. His eye had plenty of time. Kell Brook is not the only fighter in history that had an orbital bone injury. Paulie had one. Paulie had an orbital bone injury and came back and became a world champion. If he can do it, fucking Kell can do it. You know what I mean? Kell, look, if you go after a big fight at welterweight, let Khan for a chance chase you. If Kell get a big win, Khan gonna be on his heels. Oh, fight me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Yeah, Bud gonna have a problem with making them big fights, Robert. I like to see which way that Bob is going to pivot him. Since you want to cut off the lifeline of Thurman of Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia, you don't want to see them fights. Well, guess what? Who you gonna fight, bro? Clearly, if Spence got other things to do, you don't want to fight them dudes. Who the hell you gonna fight? Kale whole face is loose, but we don't know that, man. Shit, Paulie came back and won. Paulie came back and won a world title after he had his orbital bone broken. Paulie freaking Malignaggi, bruh. Paulie Malignaggi stayed in boxing after Kale Brook is not the only fighter to have his face broke. His orbital bone broke, and he still continues to fight. You know what I'm saying? But Paulie did it. That's what makes me go, dog, like, come on, bruh. Don't let me outdone by no damn Paulie Malignaggi. Man, these fight is funny, man. These fight is funny, man. But look, man, back to the Mikey Garcia, Earl Spence Jr. before I shut this down. Let's see if it happens. Mikey better not be clout chasing. All we know is that he's abandoned his IBF title. He has yet to abandon the WBC. And if it happens, let it happen. And I'm not a fan of PBC pay-per-viewing us to death. December, January, and February. Not a major fan of that. But at the end of the day, Earl Spence Jr. needs a name. Earl Spence Jr. can use the pay-per-view numbers to go into possible negotiations with Terrence Crawford and strengthen his hand. So we'll see, man. So I appreciate everybody showing up tonight, man. I'm about to go and relax, and I'm going to leave it on this one. The Halloween movie. The shit is trash. I don't care what nobody say. I'm pissed off about that because I'm a fan. The Halloween movie is freaking trash. You hear what I'm saying? Can't believe that shit, man. Then they got a nerve to talk about they're going to do another one behind that. Man, they better leave that shit alone, bro. Leave it alone, man. Halloween movie is trash. Until the next video, main man, made man. Peace out.